Last one you had then, lads, was question 12, and I think this caught a lot of ye, so I'm going to go through it nice and slowly. And make sure you're writing in the corrections as we're going along. If you need to pause the video, do. And just make sure you understand how I'm doing these sums. Okay, so for question 12, they give you all the different measurements, and then they say in part 1, calculate the length of PS. So yesterday I said, okay, that's PS, so just call it X or whatever letter you want. So we just focus on one triangle at a time, and they want you to calculate X. Now we haven't done this in a while. We've no angle to work with, but we have two sides of a right angle triangle. If you want to even get labeling, might come back to you. This is adjacent or opposite. We don't really know because there's no angle, but this is our hypotenuse. And when you have a right angle triangle and you have two sides, you can work out the third side using the theorem of Pythagoras. So remember, the theorem of Pythagoras is the area of the square attached to the hypotenuse is equal to the area of the two squares of the two sides added together. Now, I know I said a lot there, but you should all remember that fairly easily. So what do we have? We have x squared equals 7.5 squared plus 3.2 squared. So x squared equals 7.5 squared equals 56.25. And then 3.2 squared equals 10.24. So now we need to keep working on the right hand side, add those two numbers together. So 10.24 plus 56.25. We get 66.49. And now we need to just find x on its own. So we get the square root. In your calculators, the square root of 66.49 equals 8.1541. And checking back with the question, they wanted to calculate the length of PS. They don't say, but they want that to the nearest degree. So I'm just going to give it to the nearest whole number. And we're working with meters, so I'll pop that in there. So there we go. X is 8. Now, on to the second part. They want us to find the angle S or Q, which is always the middle letter, so they want us to find the angle OR. So they want us to find this angle OR. So now we're working with the right hand side of the shape. And we'll get labeling our sides. This is still opposite the angle, and this is adjacent to our angle. So for part 2, we're working with opposite and adjacent, so we are working with tan. We do not know the angle, so we just call it tan or whatever letter you want to use. And we know